Morning everyone. It's Friday, 8 o'clock, running late this morning. Just around with the kids and the rabbits at home. Managed to scuff my elbow on the bloody wall and rip the skin off. Thanks love. Yeah, so Friday today we've got an Extrons unit to fit for a customer after he's signed the disclaimer, if he shows up. And then we've got Paul and his Jeep Compass that we tried to do a head unit on a little while ago because the factory radio had failed and he wanted to put in CarPlay and Android Auto with a fascia kit. We got the fascia kit from In-Car Tech. I don't know whether you remember, but it was meant for a Jeep Commander with 8 parking sensors, and this was a Compass with 4 parking sensors, and although they listed them as the same thing, they weren't, and it didn't work out, so we had to rip all the stuff out and start again. But he went and kept the Chinese unit that was in there. Well, that Chinese unit did what it normally does. Flat batteries, didn't work properly, kept freezing, and in the end he got so fed up with it he found a company, I think it was China, that they were selling the screen that was, he had like a crack down the OE touchscreen, and they were selling the screen as a repair kit, so we bought it, fair play to him, took it apart himself. Yeah, he bought the screen, took it apart himself, refitted the new screen, and he's tested it, it's turned on, and it seems to do what he wants it to do. There's an aerial lead inside that apparently is loose and it needs fixing to something, so he's asked me to open it up and reconnect that. When he says aerial lead, I'm guessing it might be like a ground lead for the screen or the LCD or something like that, but he's asked me to have a look at that for him, so I said I would, and then we're going to fit the radio for him. So gonna be so-so day, I think, just kind of normal head units and stuff like that, a break from the big systems that we've been doing, and hopefully this afternoon we have time to plow into the Mercedes van and get this tidy up underway and get everything plugged back in. I did have a sudden thought of panic last night as I was sat in bed, that I hope, because it's all application controlled, so it's like an iPad touch that controls this Wi-Fi box that turns everything off and on. And I did think last night, well, we've disconnected the power now for probably 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. I'm hoping it hasn't forgotten its settings and it needs calibrating and setting up again, because that would be a real bummer, because it's all in Turkish and we have no clue on the setup of this system. So if it hasn't remembered its settings, we could be in for a bit of trouble. Let's hope that's not the case. It's raining today, bit of a gloomy day, bit grey, bit dark, but I'm going to get off to the shop, get a coffee, and I will speak to you in a bit. See you soon.
Morning everyone. So welcome to Friday. I did. This guy. Look at what he's doing, everyone. Look what he's got.
What?
Green handlebars on a 450, look. Yeah. Look at this guy. So he's got his handlebars off of his old bike.
I bought them new, so I want to swap them over.
Come on camera, focus. We got the new rental bars off of the old bike on the new bike. Look at how happy he is. Look. Doing the non-essential things is making him happy. Aesthetics, yo.
Engine's not mounted and it doesn't run yet, but I've got grey handlebars.
Look how excited he is. But no, so first one in this morning is a Mercedes GLA. GLA? CLA? One of the two. I think it's a G. It is a G. We've got an Extrons unit. Oh god, here we go. Right, so customer signed a disclaimer to say that they are in the knowledge that this thing may end up just exploding, which is going to be great.
Igniting the fumes.
Igniting the fumes. And just giving it pop. So we've got, essentially what this does, I've just had a look through the instructions, what we've got to do is interrupt the signal from the car's factory harness and get this thing to display whatever it wants. Giving it wingling.
Hello.
So you may have seen me bingling. You may have seen my previous video where I ended up taking one of these apart before. So we've got to take the air vents out of here. There's some screws behind that. Take the radio out, take the screen off, take this big silver panel off, and then mount up all of our brackets to be able to get our new screen here. Now, the keen eye will have noticed that this screen is quite small and the new one is quite wide. I don't know how that's going to work, but we will find out in a moment. So I will catch up with you all in a minute once he's managed to get the engine mounted. I say once he's managed to get the engine mounted, it is fairly in there, isn't it?
Yeah, like we've got one bracket on. Ain't going to win any races just yet, but...
Well, not quite, but...
No. But we got the new stock mounts in, adjusted the bars. Brake is now good, brake is now done. Throttle, we're probably going to need to use the 450 cabling because it's longer. Clutch, we're going to need a new clutch.
Or cable.
Yeah, these probably not going to stay. Oops. These probably not going to stay. I'm probably going to put different mirrors on it because otherwise it'll be like monkey hangers.
To be fair, they're not actually that bad.
They're not, no, but like, yeah.
Didn't you get a new clutch cable, clutch lever with it?
No.
With the old bars?
No, that was a brake.
Ah. Okay.
I
was going to say because they got the shorter brakes on them, so they fit actually in behind these.
Yeah, no, I can get new ones of these if I want shorter ones, but they're not wrong with them. They work fine. And then we're just going to mount all of the electrics and stuff. Going to get the framework off of the front there that holds the binnacle and indicators and everything. That's going to get mounted onto this, and then I can make a mount for the brake, the headlight pod. And that bit's done. Let's just run that backwards, and then that. Then we need to do that, and then once that's done, this, there, stuff. Bye. Right then, Daniel.
Yeah.
Has just had his first experience with Extrons. What do you reckon, Dan?
Absolute shit.
So.
Garbage.
Here we have Mercedes that we've had to swap out, bigger screen for the customer. So this is using CarPlay, Android Auto, wireless, all of the fun stuff. Yeah, so this one's done. We've had him.
Hang on. Don't show him that. Show him the actual.
Oh, I've done it. Yeah, I've done it.
Like. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Bella's rodders. We've done reverse on it as well. Camera and stuff is all working. Tested it. Jobs are good and Dan loves them. He's going to get one for his bike.
Yeah. I'll get one for the bike, but I'll only attach it
to the wheel.
The rope.
Drag
with a rope to the back of the bike.
So the customer signed a disclaimer on this one. He's all fitted and checked and tested. Job's good and well done, mate. Although it was a rough start, he got there in the end. Nice. See you in a bit.
See you soon.
Bike stuff. No.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Right then, my dudes. What a day. What a day. We've been working. We haven't been filming, we've been working, unfortunately. Hence the... Danny's covered as well, look at him. So we've had a bit of a result. Let me come back to... Where did we start? Like, what do we have this morning, Jobs?
Jeez, we have the Merc GLA, the Extrons job.
Extrons job, yeah, that was done.
That shit.
And then
we had what was it? Came in. It was a. Just after the T6 came in for Guy, to ask you a question, you had to do. Oh, you had the Jeep compass.
Oh yes, did the Jeep compass. Got Pete finally done. No, Paul finally done. Got his Jeep sorted, and then we've been working on with this thing. So, good news. We've got progress. Good news. We've got progress. So we have a little charging Addison plug on the front. So this is going to get mounted up under here, and that's going to basically give the guy a plug-in, quick disconnect for a wall charger, so we can keep the leisure batteries topped up when the van is not being used and the whole thing goes dead. So that's going to be mounted up there. Inside, we have started making a loom, pulling things. I'll tell you what, I'll go around the other side, and at least I can show you. Every single connection. I found 14 just here. 14 that are just twisted together. Nothing is taped. Absolutely nothing. Sorry, nothing is soldered. Everything is taped. So now we have a loom coming out the vehicle into here. We have our two boxes which are fixed with the door controls top and bottom, one each side, and they're screwed down. I've started looking at where the inverter is going to sit, so that's going to be about there. And then we have what looks like a wiring loom going over there. We've got battery box probably over there somewhere. We've also got to figure out the big split system. The DC to DC charger is going to go back on the center console in the middle here, and I've run through the controller, put that in the dash, that turns on the inverter and it gives you battery levels and things like that. We've had the radio out and connected in some more cables, so all the USBs that were loose and flying off, they are now connected. And then we are basically now working over to that side with our charging cable that you can see there coming through the footwell. That's from the front, so that will go onto the batteries this side, and then inverter will basically go that one and then to the battery under the seat. And obviously we're going to offset the cables, so the positive will go positive, 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 but the negative will go negative, 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 and the cables will be the same length between the two batteries, and that basically means that it will use the battery voltage equally, as opposed to one battery getting absolutely spanked and the back one doing nothing. Then we've got to start looking at putting the center console in the back. We have got in my little switch box, we've got 12-volt switch which is in for the coffee machine, but we're going to have to router out the front of the center in order to take that, and then we are starting to kind of make way with it really. And then we've got to just figure out the plug situation, 240, and then everything up here neatened up, seat base in, job done. But we are making headway. We have, look, see, starts of a cable tied loom coming away from the car, and it's a lot tidier, as you can see. We're getting there, guys, we're getting there. There's a lot of work. Yeah, you're good, Dan. It is a lot of work, but my God, we're getting there. Slowly starting to see a difference. We've still got stuff we've got to put back together. I say put back together, we've got to screw this into the wall, not the bit of wood that it's meant to. Obviously we can't redo this whole thing, we'd be here for years doing it. But it's make better of what was in here and make safe of what was in here. But we will get there, we will get there. Bike news. Yes, we have been playing a little bit today. So the sprockets are off with my local bike shop, and the guy's going to match me up a pair. We've got chain length sorted, we've got sprocket size sorted, it's a 520 pitch. So we're going to see how big a sprocket I can get on the front with ratio to the 50 teeth on the back. Obviously it's 4:1, so around about 15, 14, something like that. Somebody had already geared the little Kawasaki up, so that was already a 1447, and it should have actually been a 1347, so somebody had already changed the cogs. So we'll work with the sprocket into this one, get this aligned. Rob, my engineer mate, has devised an idea that will remount this, thread it, extend the cog this way a little bit so I don't have to move the engine over too far, and then obviously we can make the brackets from there up to the swing, from there down to the frame, and then obviously one up here onto the frame. So it'll be pinned in lots of places, and the last thing to do will be look at what they call the wobbly head. So this will be probably mounted in like a V off of these two. So it will have some support. And I started putting in handlebars and electrics. So we now have the my new Renthals put in. My old handlebars, started putting the electrics across. We've moved the brake stuff over. So a longer run, because obviously these forks are huge. So we've put in a brake system. I will fabricate that little mount over there. The black one will sit off of this, and then we can mount the headlight into it and all the key and everything, and the electrics will then run down the frame and into the battery, which will be mounted just there in the middle. I've got the throttle cables to extend. So these are the old ones, which is off the little forks and little frame, and these are the long ones from the original. So I've got those cables to get out of there and fit them into my throttle. So I've got the ultimate reach instead of these two little boys. And they will then come round and down, and then the only thing I've left to do is find a clutch cable, because at the minute this one is too small, and it's got to go obviously all the way up the big frame and be able to turn the handlebars and not get trapped. So it's coming on. We've made progress everywhere today. It's really cool, really cool. It's been a busy old day, and I'm pooped. What say you, Dan? You pooped too? It has been a bit of a mental one, I must say, but we're making headway. Hopefully we've got a nice straightforward day tomorrow. Did you say it's an SLK?
SLK for a new amp and a Mazda MX-5 for an infotainment adapter and steering control harness. He's already got his own radio.
What's the SLK for? That's confusing me, that is.
I'm sure it's an SLK.
Yeah, R17.
CLK.
SLK, I think I wrote down 171.
Yes, you did write 171.
370, 171, 2004. No, it's Navi.
Is it Navi?
Yeah, SLK, Navi.
I thought I said new amp.
No, Nav and Amp. We'll have a look at that tomorrow. That might be an interesting one. Oh, but yes, Zachary in his MX-5, or his Gil's MX-5 tomorrow. R171 Mercedes, and then back on, cracking on with this thing. Keep chipping away at it and we will get done. Oh, I nearly forgot the plate. Managed to get all the lights mounted and stuff on the tail tidy. So that's now ready to go. I've just got to find a cable tie to go, or cable tuck to go up into the battery box just here. So it'll run up the backbone of the chassis and then hide inside. So that's kind of cool as well. I've got the plate on there. Oh gosh, this thing's getting slowly dismantled. If anyone wants some fat bars, hit a brother up. I'm not going to use these. Somebody might.
Just fell out the end.
Somebody did it.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. It landed on the seat. My seat, and then it bounced off. I don't know where it's gone.
Oh, no idea. No idea. Unless it's a winning lottery ticket. Not interested. Right. See you in the morning, everyone, for Saturday. Bye.